all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and thanks for listening in. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 30th of April. You know, all the news that I tell you about every morning comes from the website bloombergquint.com. And like I always tell you, there's a lot more there. To get access to all the news and analysis we have on offer, you'll need a BQ Blue subscription. And for you, dear listener, we have a special offer. Use the promo code ALEX, that's ALEX, all in capital letters, to get a 12% discount on either a 12 or 24-month subscription. Now to the top story this morning. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has said that the coronavirus has brought the economy to an abrupt halt, and it was uncertain how long the shutdown would last, as officials held interest rates near zero and pledged to keep them there until the nation was back on track. The Federal Open Market Committee said in a unanimous statement that it will use its tools and act as appropriate to support the economy, and cautioned that the pandemic would weigh on the economy over the medium term. The Fed's comments come at a time when the longest US economic expansion has come to an end after almost 11 years, with the country now facing what could be the deepest recession in at least 8 decades. The US economy shrank at a 4.8% annualized pace in the first quarter, the biggest slide since 2008. And the current quarter is likely to be much worse, with Bloomberg Economics projecting a 37% annualized contraction. In news back home, tracking the spread of the virus, India now has nearly 32,000 recorded cases. As many as 1,813 new cases of the disease were reported in the 24 hours ending 5 p.m. yesterday, according to the Health Ministry. The Indian government has asked states to facilitate sending stranded workers back to their home states amid the lockdown with certain conditions. And speaking of that lockdown, which is supposed to end this weekend, the Home Ministry has said that new guidelines relating to the lockdown will be put in place from the 4th of May, which will allow considerable relaxations in many districts. Now, economic activity has, in fact, been significantly impacted by the lockdown. Employment provided by India's flagship Rural Jobs Guarantee Program has fallen to a 5-year low in April. According to data available on the official MGNREGA website, the work conducted was nearly 90% lower than the same period last year. In other news, investors have started exiting credit schemes as Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund's decision to freeze 6 such plans on liquidity concerns has triggered fresh turmoil in India's debt market. In fact, if you'd like to view or listen to more information on fixed income investments, I'd highly recommend that you take a look at the Mutual Fund Show this week with Neeraj Shah, or you could even check out the BQ Big Decisions podcast. In the legal space, the Supreme Court has directed the Revenue Department to release 733 crore rupees in tax refunds to Vodafone Idea. That's much lower than the 4,759 crore in tax refunds that the telecom major had claimed. The dispute relates to the assessment years of 2014-15 to 2017-18. And the Delhi High Court, in an interim order, has restrained banks from taking any coercive action against a company for failing to make payments to avail reverse factoring facility, which is where an intermediary commits to pay a company's invoices to suppliers. In other news, in a move that will plug cheaper acquisitions by non-residents via the rights issue route, the government has amended the FEMA regulations to introduce pricing restrictions. You'll find all the details of that in the story on the website bloombergquint.com. In international markets, US stocks closed significantly higher, with the Dow and the S&P 500 gaining 2.2 and 2.7% respectively. The Nasdaq climbed the most at 3.6%, on the back of better than expected results from Google's parent Alphabet. And the two early risers in the Asia Pacific region that were trading this morning were strongly positive too. Now, with that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Agam. How are we looking on the last trading day of the week?
Good morning, Alex, and good morning, listeners. We have seen 3 straight days of gains, and the SGX Nifty Futures is once again indicating a positive start this morning. It's a big day for earnings today as Reliance Industries, Hindustan Unilever and Tech Mahindra will announce results today. Reliance Industries is expected to see standalone revenue decline 12% and operating margins will contract to a certain extent at a little over 14%, but Reliance Jio will see steady double-digit growth in sales with operating margins staying firm. It's expected to be a muted quarter for Hindustan Unilever, with sales projected to see just a 1.6% growth year-on-year. Its volumes growth expectations vary widely between -4% to +4%. Operating margins, though, remain stable. And it could be a quiet quarter for Tech Mahindra too, but strong large deal ramp-ups and acquisitions in the previous quarters may support growth. Moving on, we have M&M Financial Services, which is in focus as Manulife Investment Managers acquires 49% stake in the company's two wholly owned subsidiaries, Mahindra Asset Management and Mahindra Trustee. The share agreement was executed on June 21, 2019, and Manulife has invested 265 crores in the 51-49 joint venture. Tata Motors Jaguar Land Rover has restored 3/4 of its budgeted production in China, reports Bloomberg News. And we also have AU Small Finance Bank, which will consider raising funds via share issue on May 2nd. On the same day, Polycab's board will also take up a proposal to invest or acquire shares in the company. And we also have Suven Pharma, where it has clarified that damages worth 17 crores have been fully insured against the fire which took place at the company's research and development lab in GD Metlal unit. There has been no impact on the operations of the said unit. And finally, we have Punjab and Sindh Bank, where the board will seek shareholders' approval to raise 500 crores via a QIP route on May 5th. Now, these are just some of the stocks that we can watch out for as we move into trade today. But don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day and an even better weekend.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.